Hi. Today we're going to talk about a very difficult subject for a lot of people. And it's so important that I think they should truly teach it in school. Yeah, they should teach it when you're very young so that it's deeply ingrained in your subconscious. I'm going to be talking about choosing yourself, especially in romantic relationships. I'm going to explain a bit what it means to me, choosing yourself, why it's important, what not choosing yourself can mean for your life, for you, for your self esteem, and what else? I'm going to be using a tiny bit of my own experience to help illustrate what I'm trying to explain. So, for me, choosing yourself means putting your needs above others, especially, not all the time. Okay, I need to add some nuance. It's not like you're gonna be selfish all the time and you're always gonna do what you want. Relationships, what's the word? Compromise. And you need to be generous and kind and thoughtful. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when your needs, when you've expressed your needs clearly, you've asked for them to be met and they aren't being met repeatedly. That is when you need to choose yourself. That's when you need your needs to be met. Okay, I can't put it more simply. And in relationships, that can be very difficult because you obviously love the person. I said I would talk about my experience. I have experienced this. It's heartbreaking to be in a relationship with someone that you love and you know they're trying to meet your needs, but they don't have the capacity. That's very difficult, but leaving leaving a relationship that where your needs were not met, like safety, appreciation, respect. It can also be loyalty, but also support. We have a lot of needs. Um, Leaving a relationship like that can be very difficult, like I said. But here's why you need to do it. I'm trying to be a bit structured, but my mind is going everywhere right now. Um, you need to choose yourself because if you don't, you are abandoning yourself. You are abandoning your needs, and it's probably, if you are doing this, it's a survival mechanism. It's one that you acquired, developed when you were likely a child because you learned that some of your needs were not going to be met. So you tried to suppress them and minimize them. So I told myself I was not gonna cut this video, so I'm not gonna cut this video. Woo! But you cannot abandon your needs forever. They're always gonna be there. They're not going anywhere. You need them. They're called needs because you need them. So when you do abandon them, you're like telling your brain, your subconscious mind, that your needs don't matter. And believe me, they matter. No matter how long you try to ignore them, they're not going anywhere. And it's gonna hurt your self esteem. It's gonna hurt your self esteem in the long run and the respect that you have for yourself, especially if because you're staying in a situation where you have to abandon yourself to please someone or to make their life easier, because otherwise they are failing at meeting your needs. And it's very difficult for someone like me, or like you probably if you're watching this video, who has a lot of empathy, to not put the other person's need or needs above your own, especially because you love them, you have empathy, you're probably very emotionally intelligent. Oh my god, if you're watching this, because we are I'm reflecting to you who you are. That's why you clicked on this video. It's very important for us, though, to realize that it's not because we have a tremendous amount of empathy for the person that we don't deserve the same amount of consideration and care as them. And that's like, oh, that's crucial. It's not because you understand their needs better than they understand your needs. Damn, that sentence was confusing. It's not because you understand their needs better than they understand your needs that your needs are less important. I almost want to say it again so that you really get it and it really sinks in. It's not because they don't understand your needs that they are less important. Okay. And sometimes what we try to do is shrink our needs because the person doesn't have the capacity to understand them, let alone meet them, fulfill them. But why should you deprive yourself of what you need because the other person can't meet it? And I know that when I think about it like that, it's like easy, it's like obvious. But when there are feelings involved, it's such a tug of war. It's an internal conflict because I'm going to speak for myself. For me, it was always like, but if I explain it well enough, maybe they're going to get it. If I if I try to help them meet my need, maybe they're gonna do it, they're gonna succeed. But in the end, you can't do all the work. So, yeah, all that to say, it's not that obvious right away. And it's kind of difficult to let yourself realize that this person cannot and maybe will never be able to meet some of your needs, essential needs, like that are essential for a healthy relationship. For example, repair after conflict. That's a big need. It's essential for a healthy relationship. Like, you need to communicate deeply, be honest, have empathy, understand the other person's point of view, apologize. There are so many things, like being understood, um, being valued, being appreciated, many needs that are not as obvious as, for example, the need for physical safety. Like, obviously, you need to feel safe that your partner is not going to physically abuse you. But some other needs are less obvious. But they also matter. Your needs matter, okay? If you needed to hear this today, your needs matter, okay? Because I kind of needed to hear that today too. And my friend told me that. And I already knew it. But sometimes it's nice to hear. So if I'm that person for you today, good. So, survival mechanisms. We minimize or abandon our needs because a lot of times, like I said, in our childhood, they weren't met. So we always felt like we were asking for too much. So, or that we were being too much. In our relationships, we tend to repeat some dynamics that we grew up in. That's basic psychology. Another survival mechanism. So you might experience that in your relationship, that your needs are too difficult to meet for the other person. Then you might also make yourself smaller if you think or you know that it would bother the other person if you were more successful. Either more successful than you are right now or more successful than them. So that comes from their insecurity. You might also abandon some of your dreams and ambitions because they don't match those of your partner, or to make them happy, to follow theirs with them. I started a company with a partner because, well, mine wasn't working that well, but also because he was very excited about it, and I thought it could be a nice thing to do together, a way to bond, um, an opportunity to grow together. And I liked the idea of building something with someone I loved. So that business wasn't my purpose. It didn't make me feel alive. It didn't make me want to get up every morning to do it. Like, this makes me happy. I know for a fact I was born to talk in front of the camera and, yap, spread a bit of love and wisdom. And that was not what I was doing in that business. I don't regret it because I learned so many things about myself, about business in general, um, and about life. So, not saying it was a mistake, um, but I did put aside my real purpose, my dreams, my real dreams, for something with someone, for another business with a partner. So, there's probably a lot to unpack there, but I'm just gonna keep going with the rest. So, doing these things, abandoning your needs, making yourself smaller, and abandoning your dreams or your ambitions, even temporarily, um, they can lead to resentment towards your partner, towards yourself, guilt because you're not going. I think guilt is when you're going against your values, or when someone is making you think that what you're doing is wrong. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that, but it can lead to lower self esteem for you because, as I said, you are telling your subconscious mind that your dreams matter less than someone else's, or your needs matter less than someone else's, or you need someone else's validation or love more than your own. And that's not real self-esteem. That's not the answer. I don't know how else to phrase it, but that's not how you gain self-confidence and self-esteem. It can also lead to you losing a bit of self-respect because you're not standing up for what you really need. And maybe you're staying in a situation that you have some reasons to stay in, but it's not fulfilling you, and you feel like you should maybe leave, but you're not doing it. So that can hurt your self respect. It can lead to unhappiness because you don't feel fulfilled. You're missing something. And in some cases, self loathing. You might start loathing yourself for the decisions that you've made and the life that you've created. Um, so to end a bit of this, choose yourself. Choose yourself, and it's not selfish to have needs. It's not selfish to know and know that you deserve to be loved in the way that fulfills you. You deserve to feel fulfilled. You deserve to feel happy. You deserve to feel like it's a privilege to be with you and you are appreciated and your needs are not too much and you're with someone who is gonna do everything in their power to make you feel good. And fulfilled. And obviously, if they can't, or if they won't, but a lot of the time they can't. It's a capacity issue. It's not about your worth. Oh my god, I could get into that, but it's not that you're not worth it if they can't. It has nothing to do with you. For example, if you crave vulnerability and connection and the person is very dismissive and can't handle their own emotions, it's not because you're not worth it. It's because they can't be vulnerable. They can't understand and feel their own emotions. So showing you those emotions is just like it's difficult. It's not in some cases it's not possible or not possible yet. So choose yourself. Choose choose your needs. Choose your dreams, choose your ambitions and to love yourself. That's choosing yourself is one of the most powerful, painful, beautiful practices, um, proofs of self love. So, yeah, I know it's difficult. Trust me, I've done it many, many times at different stages of my life and with better and better and better partners. What I mean is, I've had to choose myself when the partners were not treating me well at all, and when the partners were treating me well, but couldn't meet some of my needs. So there are like degrees, and every time you choose yourself, you can evolve and reach a new level of fulfillment. You can get better and better relationships because you are telling the universe, your subconscious mind, life, God, whatever you believe in, that you deserve better and that this is your minimum or this is not even your minimum. You're walking away from something to choose yourself, to choose the hope of something better. So, you do you do deserve better, and it's easy to say, but I hope you learn to love yourself even when it's hard, even when it's even when it doesn't look like drawing hearts in the mirror or saying cute affirmations. Sometimes self-love is harder than that, but so worth it, and you will get through it, and you will have better and better every time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm just talking from my heart and my pain visibly, but I think one of the most beautiful things we do as humans is alchemize pain into wisdom. So I hope my pain helped you feel a little bit less alone and maybe gave you a tiny bit of hope that it will get better. Every relationship will get better if you keep choosing yourself and showing yourself that you are worth it. All right, I'm gonna stop talking now because I think I'm rambling. But if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.